The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Oh shit! It's Vince Russo!
Vince McMahon's best kept secret.
I am the Antichrist of professional wrestling.
David Arquette won the world title.
I've got a wife, 3 kids at home, and I really don't need this shit.
How can this show be so awful, Mr. McMahon? I didn't think it was.
Viagra on a pole match.
And Hogan, you big bald son of a bitch, kiss my ass.
Judy Bagwell on a forklift match. McMahon, the family, the Rock, they screwed us all.
Now you're the editor, right?
Mankind did it! Jumpy, beat me! Goldberg steered Russo out of the cage.
I'm from New York.
I'll get downright nasty.
This is Vince Russo's The Brand.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Vixens Who Rule. No big introduction. I've been in love with this woman that is no longer there. She has left the interview. It's nothing I said. I promise you. Okay. I've been in love with this woman since about 1995. She knows it. I know it. My wife knows it. Her ex-husband knows it. There's no secrets. So I don't need to give her the big introduction. Terri Runnels, how are you doing?
Hey, Vince. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Terri, I got to tell you something, and I swear I am not BSing you. I swear to you. Okay, bro, let me set the straight. Let me set the record straight for everybody out there, because some people hear me for the first time, and it's like, oh, Vince, you're creepy. Oh, Vince, you're this. Oh, Vince, you're that. Let me set the record straight for everybody else before I start kissing Terri's backside. I've been married to the same woman for 32 years. I've never cheated on my wife, Amy. I worked with Terri for a very long time and have known her for a very long time. But I'm going to tell you this because this is the first thing I'm going to get into you for a little bit. We're going to talk like two old girlfriends. I have no notes. I don't need notes with you, but there are some things I want to ask. I swear to you, and I said this to you the last time I had you on, and I am not BSing you. And I know, you're into makeup and all this stuff and everything else. That's kind of how you got started. But I swear to God, you get freaking better with age. You honestly do. You're beautiful.
Thank you, Vince. Oh my gosh. Like, I have to tell you, I mean, I'm not a plastic surgery freak. I mean, we all know it's pretty obvious. I, bought 2 things that, are with me daily, and I guess could serve as a sort of lifesaver if I was drowning. But what I'm going to tell you, I've never told anyone this before. Years and years and years ago, I felt like I had, like my eyes looked like they were just sad and mad all the time. So back in, I got my boobs done in 86, I think, 85, 86. But I decided I didn't want this look like I was so sad. So I did a brow lift when I was like 25, something like that. Not like I was wrinkled or needed anything else, but it was something. I had the money. I wanted to do it. I did it, right? And I've not had anything done in so long. Like that was it. And so I'm at the age now, I'm turning 50 this year, and I am so on the cusp of wanting to do major stuff.
Listen to me. You're leading me right into my first question. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're leading me right where I want to go. And we're going to talk about exactly what you want to talk about. The first thing I have to ask you is this. I am so bad with, who has extensions, who doesn't have extensions. I'm so horrible with that. Now, it looks to me like that is your natural hair, no extensions, no anything. Are you wearing extensions now?
I have extensions in right here.
However, back.
Here's what I'll do. I'll take it out. Hold on, I gotta find it. Okay. I only did it because I don't know if you remember. I cut my hair 2 years ago. I cut my hair off. Okay,
Right.
short in the back, and so I wanted it to be longer. So this piece allows it to be longer when I put it in the back. Otherwise, it's my hair. All this is my
So
mom.
you like, I listen, I'm asking you honestly.
Put it back in or leave it out.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Do you honestly think that little piece makes a difference?
Well, psychologically, to me,
Psychologically.
let me put it back in. Damn it.
That does not make any difference. It's psychology. It's all psychological.
That was not a nice thing to do to me.
But I can't even
Wait,
tell
watch how
you.
long it's going to get. Hold on. I'm going to show you how long it's going to get. Okay, so that piece that I just put in gives me that much more length at the ends. Do you see that?
I cannot even tell a difference. I cannot even tell it. The big curly thing, the big curly thing you got here, that's your hair, right?
That's all me.
Okay.
All me.
All right, listen.
I just had my roots done yesterday, so all of my gray is gone.
I got to tell you this. I swear, and Terri, nobody picked up on this. I picked up on this.
What?
I'm going to guess. There's no way in hell you saw Monday Night's Raw.
Nope.
Okay, no problem. I wouldn't. Terri, the only reason I watch the show is because I get paid to watch it. That's the only reason I watch it. So I get paid to watch Raw because I do a review. Terri, I'm going to tell you a little story. We're going to talk like two girlfriends here. Okay? Yeah. This is no joke. Back in about 1994 or 1995, there was a big WWE function. I had no idea. I can't remember what it was. I remember it was a big function. I remember across the room, I see this female, and I remember it like it was yesterday. This long, beautiful red dress, very, very attractive body. But what struck me more than anything was the face. Like the woman was a natural beauty. She was a beautiful, beautiful young girl. And I remember looking at this girl and saying, who the F is that? Right? I mean, it was the head turner type of thing, but it was a very natural, beautiful look. First time
mirrors and shit. I gotcha.
Yeah, first time I ever saw this individual. Okay. Take a stab of who you think that might have been.
In 94, 95?
94, 95, yes. So be 20 years ago, 22, 23
Sunny.
Years ago. Sunny. Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie. Okay, yeah.
Stephanie McMahon was still in college at the time. She was going to Boston University the first time I ever saw her, and I was like, holy crap, I can't believe that came from Vince's loins. I mean, Linda, yes, Vince, no, right?
From the loins, yeah.
I got to tell you something, Terri. And nobody picked this up. And Terri, you got to understand, with me and my podcast and everything, I don't like to. I very rarely get personal. It's all business. I give my opinions on things.
Personal with me, Buster Brown. But
yeah, we're gonna get. But Terri, the other day, she comes out on Raw.
Yeah.
And I noticed immediately, Terri, her face was like this. Like this. I mean, what's that?
Has she had surgery? Is that what you're saying?
Well, Terri, listen, she was.
Look this up and look at it.
Can you look up this past Monday night's Raw and like just see her in the ring, because I noticed right away and I was like, oh my God, like what the heck did you do? Stephanie is like early 40s, if that. I think she's early 40s. But I immediately noticed the difference, and I was like, I'm hoping it was Botox and it was nothing, nothing permanent. But man, if you could see that, are you pulling it up?
Pulling it up. Just give me 2 seconds.
See, like I look at you. I don't see that. I see you say you're going to be 50.
You
I
see
see
smoke and mirrors. You see all of this makeup that
but I can see a woman that's turning 50 that is getting better with age, like a fine wine that looks beautiful. There's nothing fake. There's nothing phony. But when I saw Stephanie there, I was like, oh my God, like what are you? You know the picture of like that woman who got all the surgery. She started looking like a cat.
Yes.
Stephanie eyes look just
No way,
like that.
Jose. Really?
I was like, what the frig? It freaked me out. But
So,
Terri, that's what so here was my line of questioning with you when I saw that. Okay. Terri, I'm a big fan of like De Niro. You know, I've seen every Robert De Niro movie. You know, I still go see Robert De Niro movies.
okay.
Terri, and I know you were involved in makeup. That's how you kind of, started in the wrestling business, working over there at CNN with Larry King and putting makeup on famous people and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Terri, why in Hollywood? Why in Hollywood do the majority of the females, as they get older, why do they feel like they have to get this plastic surgery where they got it? Nothing looks natural. It looks totally, like plastic surgery, but like a guy like De Niro can look older and older and older. Doesn't affect him. He keeps on going. But wait, let me ask you, is it a psychological thing with women, or like does a Meryl Streep really believe, well, if I don't get work at 65, nobody's going to hire me?
Okay, let me say this to you. You tell me why you don't see let me phrase it a different way. So we've got a lot of male wrestlers that are utilized 40s, 50s, 60s, right? Still in the ring, some of them past when they should be. You don't see women get nudged to the side at a certain.
But I'm not talking wrestling. I'm not talking. I agree with you 1,000%.
But that translates into exactly what you're talking about. It's the same exact thing. You tell me why, and I'll tell you this.
But Terri, that's not true, because in movies there's always going to be roles for older actresses. I mean, they're not. In wrestling it's different. You're not going to have a 60-year-old diva or a 50-year-old diva. I get that, but in Hollywood,
listen. I'm about to blow some socks off. This year, I'm going to do 2 photo shoots, my 50th year, and tell me why I shouldn't still be.
Because Vince McMahon, once you're 30, he's done with you. It's like he's putting a cow out to pasture. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about me. I'll put you on the show tomorrow. You know that. But it's different in Hollywood because there are roles for older actresses.
Well, why the hell are we getting upset about that shit? We can't control it. Let's not even go there. But that's wasting my energy and your energy.
But I'm trying to understand the mindset of females. That's what I'm trying to understand. Why can't females grace with with age, look beautiful and graceful with age? Why?
Vince, what you just said. People like Vince McMahon, men put women out to pasture at a certain age, so women feel like in order to be relevant, in order to be in some way aesthetically pleasing to the opposite sex, to maintain a job, to whatever, to have their spouse or significant other be attracted to them because of society, they feel like they have to do that. I haven't gone there yet, so I really don't feel like I can say definitely what I would do. I feel like it's not going to be that much longer. I want to have something done.
Well, like when you look in the mirror, seriously, when you look in the mirror, what do you see that I'm not seeing? Tell me what you see that I do not see.
Wrinkles, just gravity. Yeah, it sucks. Getting old is not fun. I will tell you that.
Well, look at me. I'm a wreck over here. What am I supposed to put on the hair color for men and doing the crow's feet? I mean, come on.
Like I feel like I'm good. Here I am in my little I feel like I don't look like I'm 50 in a lot of ways, but I feel like society makes me feel like I'm 50.
But why do you care about society if you don't feel that way? Why?
Because we live, we breathe, we eat. That's what is all around us, sweetie. That's just the way it is.
Terry, can I jump to another subject? Can we get personal?
Please.
Okay. I remember
my hair. I'm already losing my voice.
I remember. Now listen, we don't have no notes here. There was no pre-interview discussion. We don't do that. So I don't know if you want to talk about this.
Oh dear God.
I remember this vividly, and I don't remember a lot of things in wrestling. I remember this vividly. I even remember we were in Atlantic City. Okay? And you broke the news to me, and you were married to Dustin at the time. One of you broke the news to me. But I'll be honest with you, I think it was you. I don't even think it was Dustin. I think it was you. You broke the news to me.
Dustin can't keep secrets.
Okay. Some type of this is in Atlantic City. I want to see if you remember this, and you may be embarrassed by this, and you may get mad at me, but I don't think you will, because I know you're a very hip young woman. You did have some type of body altercation done. That was the topic of discussion that the Runnels couple at the time shared with me. Do you know what I'm speaking of?
Body altercation or piercing, to be exact.
Piercing, to be exact.
Well, yes, I did.
Okay. All right. Now, listen. A couple of things.
Funny story. It is such a funny story.
Go ahead. Let me hear the story first before I give you my questioning.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to give you the whole story. Try as best you can not to interrupt. I know that's difficult, but try.
That's hard for me, Terry. I'm Italian. Go ahead.
So, on this particular day, we were in Biloxi. And as you know, we have to be there, at 1 o'clock. We go live at 9, whatever. Once you check in and they know you're there, you can go to the gym if you need to run an errand, if you want to do this, whatever. You're free to do so. Well, as we had driven in, we see a tattoo parlor on the beach. And so Dustin was like, I think I want to get my tattoo fixed. So we basically, this girl fixes his tattoo. And while I'm sitting there waiting for him to finish, I start looking through this basically like a coffee table book about body modification, body piercing, all that kind of thing. And I say nothing. It was just in that moment, it was born in me, the idea, the thought. So as I'm perusing this magazine or book, the thought is born. Okay, now cut. We go back to the building, and then Rich Frida, one of my absolute favorite photographers at WWE. Rich says to me, "Hey Terry, grab a swimsuit, grab some stuff. Let's go to the beach. I want to take some shots." Well, it was not Rich's fault that these were the ugliest shots I've ever taken in my life. It was a horrible, ugly day. The beach sand was ugly. Anyway, we take some shots and we're about to leave. And I realize where we are on the beach is right behind this tattoo place that we had just been at earlier, Dustin and I. So I just said to him, "Rich, do you have your wallet?" Because I came with nothing but the clothes that, the bikinis and stuff to do the photo shoot. And he goes, "Yeah, what you need?" And I said, "Well, I want to borrow some money. I want to, get something done right here." He goes, "Okay, what are you talking about?" And I said, "I want to get a piercing." He still says no. He's like, "Okay." So we pull around, we get in there, we go in there, and he's like, "Oh, what are you going to do?" And I said, "I'm going to get my clit pierced."
That's ratings right there. Right. Thank you. Ratings. Okay, go ahead. I won't interrupt again.
Anyway.
And quite frankly, I think you could have used the word vagina. I think it would have been a lot.
I didn't get my vagina pierced. I got it pierced.
See, listen, to me, vagina, clit, It's all the
I
same.
hate the word vagina. Anyway,
I think it's much more friendlier, but go ahead.
so
Wait, now, Terry, look, I have to stop you there because I got to give you a line of questioning. I have to.
We're going to interrupt.
But I have ADD. I'll forget. I'll have ADD. Now, you mean to tell me I'm not going to say the word again. It's painful for me to say. But getting that pierced, this is a tattoo parlor you don't know. You've never been there before. You're on the road. This isn't like getting an arm tattooed and you get an infection in the arm or your ankle tattooed. This is a very private part. Are you not worried about infection, infected needle? I mean, on that part of your body, like, how is that not even come into play?
Well, I didn't say it didn't.
Okay.
But before when I was there, and as I surveyed the place of business, it was very well maintained. And as you well know, there are standards that have to be upheld, and everything I was seeing was up to par. Nothing was substandard. So back to my story. We go in, and now Rich Frida is freaking out. He's like, I've got to call my wife, Jen. Oh my gosh, she's not going to believe this. He's calling Jen saying, you're never going to believe what we're about to do. So the owner, and let me say this, all around this tattoo place, there are signs. If you're a pussy, leave. Get a tattoo or screw off. It's like one of those, like, don't mess around. We're serious about what we do here. So I go back in the back. The owner is the one who is going to do the piercing. So I just say to him, dude, first of all, not only do I have one, but I am one right now, the P word. And so you need to just be patient with me, dude, and be nice. So he's like,
now why is it that you can say the clit word, but you can't say the pussy word? I would think it would be the other way around.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm not going to interrupt again.
You have your own little.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
I have nothing. I mean, I can say pussy cat. I can say.
Okay.
Anyway.
So you're telling the guy pretty much I'm chicken shit right now.
Like, yeah, dude, I'm scared to death. Like, so be nice to me. Don't be all nasty and rough. So, so now and I have plenty of gay and lesbian friends, but the person who had done Dustin's tattoo earlier was a lesbian. She was this kind of a little bit of a jock kind of girl. She was the one that worked on Dustin earlier. So now she's in there. The owner of the place is there, and there was some smoked out, toked out dude running the front desk, which is where Rich Frida is stationed at the front. I go back there, and the dude says to me, okay, you're going to just need to put your feet up on my legs right here. So all I can say to myself is, okay, Terry, pretend he's your doctor. Pretend he is your doctor. Pretend he is your doctor.
But Terry, hold on. I got to interrupt. I'm interrupting you. You don't even explain to us, like, why you want to do this. Like, where did you get the idea to do it? Is this something Dustin put in your mind? Where did this come from?
Vince, I just told you earlier. It was born while I was sitting there waiting for him to get his tattoo touched up.
So on a whim.
As I am perusing this thing, and mind you, I am one that, to each his own, but I don't like all of my stuff being shown. My tattoos are in private. I want to know that when I go to a tea or a luncheon, a professional affair or an elegant affair, I don't want shit all over me. I want to be able to wear my girls and look appropriate. So
let's get so he's got you in the stirrups.
No, he's got me with my feet on his knees, and I'm like, just so now the jock lesbian tattoo artist that worked on Dustin earlier, she now comes over and says, because I'm like freaking scared, she comes over and says, do you want me to hold your hand? I'm like, yes, hold my hand, Please hold my hand. So, now again, Rich Frida's out there. I'm in the back, and I'm squeezing this woman like there is no tomorrow. When the moment of glory comes, I scream like crazy. Okay?
No, there's no numbing. There's nothing.
No.
Okay.
So,
is there blood?
Slight, just a
Okay.
slight amount.
All right. Okay.
So now I'm going to fast forward just a smidge because now, and it was $65. Rich pays. Okay. Now we go back to the arena. As we're driving back to the arena, which was not very far away, Rich says to me, he starts dying laughing. First of all, he's like still in shock that he's just paid for this and this has just gone down. And he goes,
Terry, hold on. I got to embellish your story a little bit. You're killing the story. People have to understand that Rich Frida was probably the biggest nerd employed by the WWE. He was a photographer. He had a crew cut. He was a little chubby. He was 1000% nerd. And I love Rich. I love Rich, but I'm trying to make the story a little better so people will understand.
okay. So, and I think it's hilarious that he, called Jen and said, "You're not going to believe what I'm about to pay for."
Right.
But, okay. So as we're driving, he goes, so Terry, he's asking me all these questions. Did it hurt? Oh my God. And so then he says, so the guy up front, as you're back there with the owner and getting ready to do this, the guy up front, who's totally toked out of his head, says, yeah, so like, yeah, most of the girls, when they have this done, they come. And so, yeah.
Very good. This is getting very graphic now. I'm going to have to put a warning on this show, Terry, because of you. Go ahead.
So, I mean, we're all adults here, right? I'm just.
I think I'm a little bit of a man child, but go ahead.
What was
Terry,
said.
I got a monkey sitting next to me. I mean, not for nothing, but go ahead.
Okay. So, so Rich says that, this guy is telling him how, what, all the women, when they get this done, what they do. So he says the moment that he hears me scream, the dude up front looks at him and says, she was faking it. And I burst out laughing because I go, Rich, oh my God, like that scream was the farthest from any sound of pleasure. Anything. I mean, it was,
Rich is married at the time, right?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
He wouldn't know anything about, pleasure in his wife or his wife having an orgasm or anything, but go ahead.
I love the fact that this dude, assumes that my scream of pain is fake. Anyway, so now we get to the arena.
Wait, and Terry, stop. You're getting too far ahead. I got questions. So was there any truth to that, or was the sensation just 100% pain?
It hurt.
That's it. Just hurt.
Hurts.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So, so now we're back at the arena, and I tell Rich, go in. As first of all, I said, is find out if anyone's in the locker room. We are courteous, men's locker room, women's locker room, and he comes back out and he says, no. I said, all right, go in there and tell him that he owes you money. And because I'm assuming Dustin's going to say, what, for what? Why do I owe you $65? Whatever. Rich comes back out and says, he paid me the money and never asked me one question.
Oh, that's typical Dustin.
Typical Dustin, right?
Wait a minute. Dustin gives $65, never says what he owes the money
Dustin's
for.
in there painting his face. Rich says, dude, you owe me $65.
That's tremendous.
Dustin never says a word. Just
that's great.
So now I'm frustrated because like my big pop that I want to have, Dustin go, what? She did what? So now I'm like, crap. So I know he's in there alone. I'm not going to be, walking in on anyone else. So I go in there and I said, babe, did you paid Rich? He goes, yeah. He goes, what was that for? And I said, I got my clit pierced. And he said, no, you didn't. As he continues painting, never even looking at me, just, still doing his paint. And I said, yes, I did. And at that moment when I realized he's not believing me, of course, I have to drop trowel. And he's like, oh my God. And next question was, did that hurt? And, yes. So yeah, that's the end of that story. That's all.
Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. Now there's a whole line of questioning that comes with that. I have to ask you this.
What?
That was a long time ago.
Yes.
Do you still maintain that?
Yes.
You still maintain that after all these years?
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you this. Why is that? Usually people get piercings and
I choose to, even though it's very passe, I choose to keep my belly ring in because I think a pretty little ornament of gold
interesting.
is nicer than a hole that was left from, and that's why, let me say this to you, that's why even though I would love to get my nose pierced, I won't do that because I know that there's going to be a hole left there and I don't want a hole. So I don't want there to be a hole left. So I'd rather there be ornamentation versus a hole that says something used to be here and now it's not.
Okay.
Are you good with this subject? Can we move on?
No, because I have questions now. Doesn't that, how does that affect you when you're, intimate?
I refuse to go there. I'm not.
Does it affect you?
From a private matter, and I'm not talking about it anymore.
Terri, I think you pretty much just made it public on your own there, sweetheart. But does it affect that? Does it affect the intimacy?
Obviously, I like it, or I wouldn't have it in there.
Okay.
Okay. I think you've exhausted that topic.
Now, did Dustin ever get any altercations on?
I'm not going to speak about what he's done or what he hasn't done. That's his own private business.
I'll take that as a yes. Okay. All right. Listen, Terri, can we talk about something serious now along the same lines?
Please, I beg of you, please.
I see you want to talk about it more.
No, I want to talk about something different.
But this is a little different. But this is one thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Because listen, I want to get your opinion on this.
Surgery and piercing.
Okay, well, this is along the same. This is along the same lines. Okay, I want to talk about. You just know, Sonny, Tammy, made supposedly 6 figures doing an adult film.
So
okay, now. I know that I know that Joni went down the same path, and I know Joni made a lot of money doing that, but I also know once she did it, she could not escape it. And you can't erase it. It's there. I'm a big fan. Listen, Terri, do you watch Teen Mom?
Teen Mom, no.
Okay, I'm a big fan of Teen Mom. There's a girl on there
of Teen Mom.
I love Teen Mom. So much great drama and characters. I love Teen Mom. But there's a Teen Mom on there that did an adult film for a lot of money and now can't escape it. It's like a blemish on the record of her life. So, it looked like Tammy needed the money. Like, I get all that. I understand all that. But being a friend of, China's, and I kind of know, like, when a woman decides to go down that road, like, it doesn't go away. And sooner or later, it let me put it to you this way. It'll hurt you more than it'll help you sooner or later down the road. Now, Terri, you are different because and I've known this about you since when I met you, even when you were in the wrestling business and even before. You're very business orientated. You have a mind for business. Terri Runnels is one of those women that, whether she's in the wrestling business or not, there's a million other things you can do because you got it up here and you're very, very intelligent. So you would never fall in this category. You just wouldn't. But I want to ask you, say you were in that position, Terri. Terri, let me tell you what I'm worried about. Here's what I'm worried about. We watch the show Total Divas. We know all about Total Divas. Okay. I also know women in wrestling. And when you turn 30 years old, we're on to the next woman. That it's a very sexist business. I always say that, and I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. My concern is now you got all these beautiful divas. They're on E. They're sitting on top of the world, press and money and all the things they could dream of in life. Okay, they're going to hit 3-0, and then all of a sudden, Vince McMahon and the WWE ain't going to know these women from Adam. That's how it happened. So now you're going to have a lot of women that peaked early and were on television and had celebrity and made names for themselves. Well, all of a sudden now they don't got the WWE tag. They're not on TV every week. They really can't model because they're up there in age. Well, who's going to come knocking on the door? Let's face it, Vivid is probably going to come knocking on the door. Terri, if you were in that situation, and thank God, I mean, you're not, you have choices. What would you do if you were in that situation?
Choices, Vince. We all have choices.
We all have choices. You're right.
I have made my fair share of mistakes in life. So yes, but no, you know what I would say. I would never do that. But I don't judge. You know what? To each his own. Like I said, I don't live in Tammy's skin 24/7. I don't know what she needs. I don't know what she wants. I don't know what makes her happy, what makes her sad. So all I can tell you is if that makes her happy, good for her. It's just not something I would ever contemplate.
Terri, what would you tell a woman, though? What would you tell a woman in wrestling, okay, in wrestling that basically went through what I just talked about? And, all of a sudden, not in the limelight, not on TV. They don't get recognized anywhere they go. They're having difficulty earning income. And here comes the opportunity. So they're doing it for the money. They really need the money. What would you tell that individual? Like, say they don't want to do it. Like, no, I don't want to do it, but I need the money. I can't pay my rent. I don't want to do it, but I got to pay the rent. What would you tell a young girl like that in her 30s?
If they didn't want to do it, exhaust every other effort to garner the funds they need to take care of their rent. I mean, it's just something that, like you said, it's you don't go back from that. When I made the choices, I did photo shoots that were very sexy shoots, but I really always wanted a bit of elegance and artistic elements to be with all of my pictures. Not that there were always, because a lot of them are just TNA pictures that are just, here's the goods, and that's all that WWF or WWE needed or wanted from that particular thing. But I just believe that, like, my choice was made when I had a daughter, and all I could think about was, okay, I'm going to raise my daughter, and I'm going to say to her, sweetheart, you sit like a lady, you act like a lady, you do this, you do that, say please, thank you, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, excuse me when you walk in between people that are talking, all of this stuff. And then I'm going to sit in a magazine, spread my legs, so all of my vajayjay shows, and then expect her to accept the words I'm trying to teach her. And at a certain point, had I done something like that, I would have been faced with somehow trying to rationalize this to my child. Yeah. And I just knew that I couldn't. I knew that I didn't want to try to rationalize that to my child, why I made that decision. So the decision was made to not go down that route.
Terri, I want to ask you this, and again, I'm asking you these questions because obviously you turned out great. You turned out better than ever, and I know young women going through wrestling, they're going to be faced with this stuff. So last time you came on the show, you kind of told me about like the end of the WWE, and like Stephanie was like a little kabuki spooky-ish. You kind of got into that story, but the end kind of like came out of nowhere. So what I want to ask you is, I know you. I know while you were in the business, in your mind, you knew, as great as this is now, this is wrestling. This is not going to go on forever. You were married to a wrestler, so you knew this is a business. So what I want to ask you is, now, while you were still in the business, did you prepare for that last day? Did you have a game plan in place? Or when it was over, was it more like just one day at a time, or did you immediately put a new plan into place because this is a new life?
No, I had plans, but understand this, that, you know, not all plans go the way that we want them to. And so I've had some, you know, I've taken care of some people that I probably shouldn't have taken care of. I've spent a lot of money on human beings. I bought into a business that ended up not being what I wanted it to be. So even though I had some plans in place, not everything went like I wanted it to go. But you know the book, Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that you kind of have to have that mentality where this business is concerned. And you've got to realize that your cheese is going to be moved, and figure out and find out, you know, I have to say, I did think that I would have done more TV, mainstream. Like, I loved hosting, and there were several shows that, you know, we did pilots for, that never came to fruition. And you know, that's disappointing. Even now I look back and I go, dang, I really wish that would have worked and would have happened. But I also believe in the big man upstairs, and I also believe that, you know, and to all my atheist friends out there, just plug up your ears while I talk for a minute. But I really do believe that every day I make the conscious choice of starting my day on my knees in prayer, and I literally give my will over to God. So I go, okay, dude, like, I'm thinking that you probably are wiser than I. So this free will that you gave me as a human being, I'm going to say thank you for this free will, but I'm going to graciously give it back, knowing that you have a better plan. And that's truly the best plan that I can even come up with and think about. I love that plan.
Terri, I love that. I got to ask you this. I'm going to ask you this honestly, and we've never talked about this, and I'm going to ask you honestly because it's something that I've struggled with. I mean, for the last 33 years, okay, I am a believer. I mean, I love Jesus. There's no doubt about it. I'm with you 1,000%. I got saved back in 2002, and I've never looked back, and it changed my life. But I still, you know, struggle with depression and always have to lean on him for strength. Terri, you listen, I so many people from wrestling come on this show. And Terri, I'm telling you, within 10 minutes, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I feel the void in their lives. I feel they're struggling with depression. You know, they were in the limelight and now they're not anymore and they don't know what to. I feel it. I know it. When I'm talking to people, I know it. I still keep in touch with poor Jason Sensation because every day he's struggling with this, Terri, but be honest with me now. When I talk to you, I kind of get a feeling like you've never had a depressing day like in your life. Like you've had disappointments. Maybe you didn't get that job and maybe you lost business opportunities. But I feel like you never fell off the deep end. You never went into a depression. I mean, is that accurate? Because that's amazing to me if that's true.
I am someone who wakes up, always have been, wakes up with a happy heart. Hope is in every cell in my body. I always am a person of hope. And, you know, my mother raised me to be, to always, I mean, you can sit and find the negative in anything, or you can find something good in everything. And she just raised me so that I am always looking for the good. You know, I remember as a child, she would say, even someone that's a serial killer, I mean, the worst of the worst of the worst that you could fathom, you know, there's something that that person does and does well. It may be that he's the best whistler, or, you know, but there's something good in everything and everybody. You just have to look for it, and you just have to find it. And so at the same time, me telling you that, I have a bit of a Florence Nightingale kind of personality where I want to take care of and save and help everyone. And that has gotten me into trouble. And it probably, you know, the most disappointed I've been is trying to help others and you know, take care of and save other people. And, you know, you realizing that you can't. That's probably been the darkest, or the, you know, the lowest. But yeah, I certainly am not perfect. And on a daily, I think of things that, you know, I want to do and be better and grow and be wiser and smarter and more educated, and, you know, and all that comes back to me. I have to do that. But I don't know if it's that like I was telling you, I start my days and I give, you know, here's the honestly, here's the way I look at it. And this is my belief. No matter what, the worst thing that could ever happen to me would be the loss of my child. Okay. That being said, God forbid I ever lost my child. I am a believer that I will see her again. I'm a believer that I will go to a place where I will be with those that I love. That one fact alone, and when you take that and then you can backtrack from that really drastic and very dark example I gave you, but just go to anything, any failures or disappointments or whatever happens that you just think, oh my God, that's the end of the world. That's just the worst thing that could have ever happened. I'll never recover from that. It's just, that's the end of it. You have to understand that I think this is but a blip. We're here, but just a blink. And then we're on to great and grand and wonderful things. So I guess I don't really let that much get me. The things that would get me the most are if I had hurt a family member or a friend without realizing it, and you know, in some way that kills me. You know, I have to make sure that, you know, God, I don't want to ever hurt anyone's feelings or disappoint family or whatever. But yeah, I don't know if I even answered your question, but that's the best I can tell you.
You definitely did. And I realize you, I mean, I appreciate you going into that, which leads me to another tough question. Daria, are you ready for this?
I don't know.
I know the last time we got together and spoke, and I also know from past experience, okay? I know that you had a very, very rocky relationship with Dusty, you know, Dustin's dad. Since the last time we spoke, Dusty tragically, you know, passed away. You know, and it was sudden, and it was, you know, a surprise. I mean, you know, a lot of
still does not feel real to me. It still does not feel like, I still can't believe it.
Well,
he was supposed to go on and on and on. Like
Right.
His life was so big, and his personality was so big, and it's just like he was just not supposed to go.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because you guys, you had a little bit of a rocky past, but when you came on here last time, you made it clear he was a great grandpa, the whole 9 yards. But especially early on, there was a little struggle, in between with Dustin, and you got into that. But what I wanted to ask you is, when he just passed that suddenly, kind of out of nowhere, like you said, this is a guy that's going to go on and on and on. You almost think he's immortal.
Right.
How did you feel, and how were you able to cope with that, knowing, there was some choppy times with him in your relationship with it?
Well, first of all, the first thing that happens is my mind is not on me. My mind is on my child and on Dustin. So that was it. Like, what do I need to do for my child? And, Dustin's married, so I don't have to take care of Dustin, but, I will always love Dustin and respect Dustin for, being Dakota's father. And, so of course my heart broke for him. His sister and I are like two peas in a pod. We're born a day apart. And of course my heart broke for Kristen and, Teal and Cody and Grandma. And, the thing, it was sudden. It was so fast. Dakota was not prepared for that. She'd never lost anyone.
Yeah.
And I literally, she was on the phone with me constantly while she was at the hospital. And then it went from everything's okay or gonna be okay to he's gone. And, her first thing was, Mom, I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of this hospital. And I said, babe, can you drive yourself? Do I need to drive there to get you, or can you, because she wanted to go to my mom's. And she said, I'm going to go to Gingy's, and I think I can drive myself. Just meet me there. And, I couldn't get to her fast enough. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I just literally laid in the bed with her, wiping her face with a cold cloth, as she is just, she's just heartbroken. She's in shock. She's literally at the bedside when he took his last breath. She's never witnessed any of that, much less it being someone that's so close. So all of this, I don't even think about me for a while. And I had a really hard time at the service, because I think that's when I first kind of thought about myself. And I was sitting there with Tilly was to my left. I don't even remember who else was around me. And I couldn't stop crying. And I don't know if that was because I had not processed it until I was sitting there. At this point, Dakota is sitting with Dustin and the family. And I am a few rows back. So I guess my thought was, as a mom, okay, she's kind of enveloped with family. So I guess it was the moment where I thought about it, and it just, still, it breaks my heart. I think where Dusty and I got off on the wrong foot, he made some assumptions about me in the very beginning that were based on assumption, based on zero truth. And, over the course of the years, Dusty and I, I wrote him a really long letter and told him that I understood the reason that we had butted heads was because I loved his son and I was very protective of Dustin, meaning that I knew how hurt Dustin got. And I mean, the best thing in the world would have been for them to have had a great relationship. You know, I've told you this before. That would have been the best thing, because then my husband would not have been tormented like he was. The hole in his soul was his relationship with his father. And Dustin used a lot of things to try and fill that hole in his soul. Dusty and Michelle, Grandma and Pops, over the course of years, they realized, first of all, I loved their son and did everything to support him and be there for him throughout all of it. A lot of lies were told, a lot of junk was told, but in the end, you know, they realized I never became a different person. I was the same from the start to the end. I was me. I was, you know, first of all, Dakota's my world. And, you know, that's what it was about to me. So we let it go. And, you know, I let my, you know, I was angry at, you know, what he said about me that I knew was not factual. And I was angry that he didn't treat Dustin right. And again, I don't want to focus to be on negative. I'm really proud that Dusty was an amazing father to Teal and Cody, amazing husband, although Grandma, God love her, she's so funny when she talks about, you know, I could just kill him. He just, you know, he could just make you want to, but what a beautiful love affair they had. And in the end, I have nothing but love. I let the anger go a long time ago. And I just, you know, the last years, all I did was appreciate the grandfather that he was to Dakota. And all of the other things, you know, you can't go back and hear me. You will never find me where I've said anything about Dusty that was negative, ugly, a lie. I don't like that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for. Thanks.
Can we do a happier subject, please?
Yeah, I was just going to say thanks for sharing that. Thanks for being so honest. But yes, we're going to move on to a much brighter spot.
Because so far, I've really not enjoyed anything we've talked about.
Yeah, well, you brought up the CLIT gimmick. I'm putting that on you. That was
question. I answered honestly.
I was asking the question. You got into the
go there out of nowhere. You drove the train, and I hopped on board.
All right, okay. Let's talk about something much more happy. Let's talk about happier times.
Yes.
Okay. This is amazing to me when I look at it. The other day, I was absolutely floored when you said it was Dakota's birthday and she's 22 years old, and you had a picture of mother and daughter. And Terry, I'm not BSing you. It did not look like mother and daughter. It looked you look like you could have been a sister. But
we act like sisters half the time.
Yeah, Dakota has grown. She's 22. I remember when she was a little kid. She's grown up into this beauty. Now, here's the thing, Dakota. Terry, here's the thing that's amazing to me. I don't think people really understand the talent pool in her genes that Dakota has. I want to refresh everybody's memory. Obviously, we still see Dustin. God bless him. Looks amazing, as talented as ever. One of the very few bright spots on Monday Night Raw, in my opinion, these days. So we all know Dustin. Now, the sister you were talking about,
hold on, battery running low. Don't move. Wait, do you want it to die, or you want to go?
Do whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. Holy cow. Oh, Madonna me. I think she would have checked the battery beforehand. You know, I'm going to go on with Vince. I got about an hour. Let me make sure I got enough battery. You know. But meanwhile, she sits here putting herself over. I'm brilliant. I'm beautiful. I'm this. I'm that. You can't remember about the battery. So now I got to stand here, talk to myself so we can buy this time. Here she comes. All right. Just going to plug in.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't think we would talk this long.
Oh, come on. Why are you crazy? All right. Can I get back to what I was saying?
All right. We're going to go.
The sister that you were saying, Dustin's sister you were close with, right?
Yes.
Was this the one that used to be the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader?
Yes.
What is her name?
Kristen.
Kristen. And I got to tell you something. I met Kristen in the heyday,
yes.
And she was gorgeous. I mean,
still is equally as gorgeous.
Okay, so we got Dustin. We got Aunt Kristen, who used to be the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. We got Mom, who was a phenomenal actress, and we have Dusty freaking Rhodes.
Wait, keep going. Wait,
go.
Cody. Oh, wait, and we've got a couple of uncles by marriage. We've got Sags of Nasty Boys, married to Grandma's sister.
See, I did not even know that.
Better, and Tugboat used to be married to another of Grandma's sisters. So we've got two by marriage, and we've got the rest. Yeah,
which is this
a plethora.
I was gonna say pool of talent, freaking ocean of
yes.
I mean, literally natural talent.
Right.
What are Dakota's dreams? And
that very thing that you just said, bless her heart, drives her crazy. Because, and think about it, try to put yourself in her shoes. So it's kind of the same thing that Dustin, had to deal with.
Right.
So Dakota is trying to grow up and be her own person and have achievements, and I'm so proud of her. She's on the dean's list. She's doing great in college her senior year. But imagine, and she shared something with me years ago, and it broke my heart. But it was the first time I had to actually think about what she was saying. She said, Mom, I can be having a conversation with a group of people, and they can be enjoying me. I'm enjoying them. Great banter. You, Dad, Pops, any of you walk up and I become invisible.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah.
And she's like, you don't know how hard it is to be your daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
And I never thought of it. My mind is always just, my daughter's so precious. She's so wonderful. I mean, how she was my world.
Yeah.
My little traveling partner went around the world with me. And I never thought of it that way. And and I remember saying to her, I said, babe, what can I do to help? Do you want me to not wear makeup? Do you want me to what can I do so that when we're on your turf, I don't detract from what you're trying to do?
Right.
And I was so proud of her, because this was way back when she was in middle school, high school, first few years of high school. She said, Mom, it's my problem. I don't want you to change a thing about you. You be you. This is something I've got to overcome. My child's an old soul, but that kind of maturity and wisdom to be able to see and go, this is a bunch of shit I've got to deal with. But, she just floors me with her grace and her wisdom. And so right now she's a communications major, documentary films, television production. I don't know which way she's going to go. She's talented in so many areas. Whatever she does, I'll be proud of her. I want to be of assistance if she ever needs me. But I don't know exactly what she's going to do. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I swear,
horses more than people 99% of the time, though. I will tell you that.
What's that? What you say? Horses?
Horses more than people,
Yeah.
99% of the
I
time.
got to tell you, when I was asking you about, Dakota, like all that, like, and I was setting up the question, like, I'm not even thinking about, oh my God, like, yeah, there's a very famous scene, and I know you haven't seen it. Rocky's a part of my life. I got Rocky tattooed on my arm, but there's a very pivotal scene in Rocky Balboa where his son like can't get anywhere because Rocky's his dad.
That was
But
one of the later movies, right?
yeah, that was one of the later movies. But the difference was the son tried to put all the heat on Rocky.
Right.
And Rocky called the spade a spade and said, bro, kind of. But I mean, in your case, Dakota recognized it. And
Yep. I mean, yeah. I mean, I literally said, and as her mom wanting her to not be hurt, I would have done anything. Had she said to me, Mom, when you come onto school campus or when you go to one of my performances or when you are, whatever, please don't wear makeup. Please don't wear, please wear a crocus. Whatever she would have said, I would have done.
Yeah.
For my child's sake. But like I said, kudos to her that she said, this is my own fight to fight.
Yeah, well, good for her. Listen, Terri, I got to ask you another question. And I didn't plan on asking this question, but I got ADD and it just came to me. Okay.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I have, we got my podcasting network here, VinceRussoBrand.com. And what we do every Tuesday is we go back and we look at a episode of the Attitude Era and we review it. And I give them a little bit of what was happening behind the scenes and all that. Okay. But like one of the main stories right now is, especially behind the scenes, is, we got Sable, who's starting to explode.
Right.
And you got Sonny, and like Sable is kind of starting to leave Sonny in the dust a little bit. And I can remember living that, and that was very, very,
in the dressing room living.
Yes. And it was very, very difficult. Terri, I gotta ask you this. Like that locker room at the time with the women at the WWF during the Attitude Era, it was a little bit of a catty one for a lot of reasons. And I'll tell you why. And all the reasons made sense. You had Sable and Sonny, and like, I kind of always looked at Sable as kind of like, I kind of looked at it as almost Ginger and Marianne on Gilligan's Island. To me, Sable was always like the movie star, and, Sonny was like the girl next door. But to me, that Sonny was never in Sable's league. So the one thing you had going on there was Sonny was very jealous of Sable. I had to deal with that. I was caught in the middle of it. On the other end, you had another completely different war, which made all the sense in the world. You had women there like Luna Vachon and, Jackie, who were old school wrestlers. They were, it wasn't the diva stuff. Right. They were, especially Luna. So like Luna took a huge offense. Yeah, especially Luna wanted to kill Sonny. Luna did not get along with Sable. Yeah, I was in the middle of a lot of that stuff.
Thank God Luna loved me. Thank God Luna loved me.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, because I never talked to you about this, but you had so many different personalities. You had it changing from the female wrestler to the diva. That was the transition stage. Where were you in all that in relations to the other girls in that locker room?
I honestly felt like I was mom half the time, like keeping children at bay. Sable and Sonny would be talking. They wanted to talk to each other, but because they disliked each other so much, they would talk through me. So what Sonny wanted Sable to know, she would tell me. And what Sable wanted to respond to Sonny with, she would say to me. So it was like, it was crazy and silly. I don't know if Luna liked me, because I don't know why Luna liked me. Like I said, I'm thankful that she did. I know that when the thing went down with Pillman and we had that story that we were going with, I was going with Pillman, and I had gone to do a third-party appearance for AFA in Pennsylvania. And it was the first time I ever met Luna. And I met her, and I was in Vince's office. You were not there. I don't know why you weren't there. We were in Connecticut, and I said, this is, why don't we? And that's where I said, use Luna. And why were you not part of that?
According to them in recent history, the Monday Night Wars and this, that, and the other thing, I had absolutely nothing to do with the Attitude Era. So that's probably why I wasn't there. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, anyway, I just remember like saying to Vince, I think it would be great to turn the tables and bring Luna in. And that's what we did. And you know how crazy that got with all the, silly stuff that she and Dustin did. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that Jackie and Luna, they all knew I respected the hell out of them. They knew that it was not my desire to wrestle, like they wanted to, but they knew I respected them.
Who were you tightest with in the female locker room?
It's funny. I ended up loving the most. I shouldn't say loving the most, but I ended up respecting the most Trish, because when she came in, I don't know if you remember saying this to me. You said to me, I need your help. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? You had her doing pre-tapes, and you're like, you've got to help me. You've got to help me make her sexy. You've got to help me teach her how to convey sexy in an interview. Do you remember that? I
never worked with Trish.
You came to me.
No, you're thinking of somebody else.
No, I'm not.
I don't think I ever worked with her, ever.
You might not have worked with her, but you are the one that came to me.
Maybe I believe, yeah, because I'm old. I don't remember things. I believe you. Okay.
You came to me and said, you've got to help me teach her.
Right.
How, she's all kinds of hot and gorgeous, but she's not conveying that.
Right.
Please teach her how to convey that. And so, I remember in the beginning, it's that way with a lot of newbies. They come in, they don't really know what to do and how to behave. And, she's the one that impressed me the most at how she came in and really got busy with learning her trade.
Mm-hmm.
So I really had a lot of respect for her.
Well, Terri, I got to answer the last question because I got to wrap this up, because you set the interview a half hour back, because I had a lot more time with you.
Well, because I have one thing that's negative, believe it or not, that I want to say. So,
yeah, then go first. Go ahead.
Really quickly. And I should know better than to look at some of these shoot things that people do and say. And the other day, just happened upon like a little 2-minute, 3-minute thing. Barry Windham shoots on Terri Runnels. I was like,
I hate that stuff. Yeah, me too. I hate
so I was stupid enough to push play.
Yeah.
And he said that he thought I had no talent, and that the only reason I was there was because of who I slept with that had power in the company.
That's so not true.
And what blows me away with that is, it disappoints me, what blows me away with stuff like that is the person that had power was Dusty, was Ole Anderson. I mean, I'm not dating anyone. Like, I dated Brian Pillman. Like, he didn't have power in the company. And it kills me because just the other day I did an appearance in North Carolina. I think it was North Carolina. I don't know where it was. Anyway, long story short, he was there. I hadn't seen him since he was living with Dustin and shooting guns and getting arrested, okay? But I think to myself, well, I haven't seen him in years. I went up and said, hey, Barry, how are you doing? And hugged his neck. I don't know if what he said about me was before I hugged him or after or what, but like, it just kills me because it's like in his mind, he knows he's lying. So,
but Terri, listen, it shouldn't kill you.
Do that.
It's so simple. It's so simple. and you should know this, but it took me a long time to know this, to not let it bother me anymore. When the boys do interviews like that, whoever is interviewing them, they're looking for that soundbite. And the boy,
you do the same thing.
I absolutely do not.
But I don't lie about people.
Yeah, no, but they do. You come on, Terri. You know the boys. You know that they're going to give that soundbite to get themselves over. In the meantime, half of the time they don't believe it. The other half of the time they don't care about it, and the third half of the time they completely forgot about it after they say it.
Well, it makes me just a little bit chapped. That's all. Okay, and now I'm done. That's all I want to say.
And like I said, I completely understand that. But if anybody can vouch for your talent, it's me. I mean, there's nobody, and I would tell Barry Windham this. There's nobody who could have been the Marlena character on the face of this planet. Nobody, absolutely.
Well, I should have been able to do her. I created her, damn it.
Yeah, and you were phenomenal at it. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, Terri, I got to end this thing now because you blew me off a half hour. We were supposed to start a half hour ago, but you had to do more important things.
I had tornadoes going on, dude.
Come on. But this isn't the last. This isn't the last time we'll see each other. Am I right?
You're right. You're right. I get to see you in Dallas.
Yeah, I'll see you in Dallas. I look very, very forward to that. Please make sure you track me down, and I'll make it a point to track you down. I don't want to miss you.
Okay.
All right. Listen, don't go anywhere because I'm going to wrap it up, and then I just want to give you a personal goodbye, okay?
Right.
All right. Terri Runnels, beautiful as ever. Listen, I'm going to apologize for the intimate details that she decided to get into. I never tell my guests what to say. If they go into business for themselves, maybe you learn some things on the show you really didn't want to know about. So I'm going to apologize for Terri now. But listen, I love her.
Be respectful when you write about this. I don't want to see salacious headlines. Come on.
I don't write anymore. I just do this. So you don't have to worry about me writing anything about this. But Terri, I love you, everybody. Thanks for joining me on Vixens Who Rule. I'll see you right back here next week.
And you watch me every weekend, only on the weekend feature, because there's an anybody out there who acts like Miss Chantal.